The business of being Black today are safer schools and arming teachers. Please welcome political activist and the founder of Black Guns Matter, Maj Toure, the director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Initiatives for Camden, New Jersey School District, Rand Miller, the president of the Black Americans National Gun Club, Marcel Pope, and pastor and the director of the Live Free campaign, Pastor Mike McBride. I'm Tammi Mack. Let's get with this. Maj, you were getting ready to chime in after Pastor Mike made his statement about guns in the schools not the only answer to protect our kids.
Yeah, so I hear all of these concepts, but the reality is when there's a weirdo, a psychopath with a firearm, the reason why you call law enforcement is because there's a guy with a firearm to come neutralize that potential threat. We can't on one hand say, well, these shootings only make a small percentage, so we can't address it the same way. We also can't say it's a small percentage, but then say this is a serious issue. The reality is it is a serious issue. I don't care if it's only one child per year. That's one child too much. With that being the case, we need to have the most effective means to neutralize shooters. And there is no nonviolent approach to a murderer. There is not. And that's just the unfortunate reality. And again, going back to like organizations like Faster Save Lives, these are very local. This isn't a one size fit all scenario. You know, the issues that you have in New York, you obviously don't have in, a rural America. But the thing is, giving teachers that option, if they want to exercise their right and train to potentially defend life, not even just teachers, all staff, in a quiet, concealed way, I think that creates more of a deterrent, and we'll be able to cut down on some of these homicides and those mass shootings.
Rand, jump in here.
Yeah, so I have a few points. First, I think that we have to be careful when we're labeling shooters necessarily as weirdos. Generally, those shooters are kids that come from the school. And just like the brother said, teachers generally care about students. So now we're putting teachers in a position where they may have to shoot a student that they know. So that might be a conundrum for teachers who are, on the one hand, trying to defend the students that they have, but also not necessarily trying to throw away the life of a child who may have social, issues, social, emotional, mental issues. So we have to be very careful of putting teachers in that precarious position. That's the first point. Second point, I think with respect to the percentage of teachers who are white, again, that I bring that up as being important because there's also research from the APA that shows about how Black children are taken as older, how Black people are seen as, impervious to pain, where they don't feel as much pain. And so a lot of those accidental things that we may see, those things can come up because, of course, people may have preconceived racist ideas about our children. And the last point I want to make is just about our kids going to public schools and parents sending their kids to certain schools. I do agree. It is hard to talk from both sides of your mouth when you're saying one thing about a school, but then you're sending your kids there. But reality is that all parents don't have the option to take their kids out of public school or put their kids in a private school. If they do put their kids in a private school, somewhere where they may pay for, it's probably the same as a public school with the majority of teachers and administrators being white. Everybody doesn't have the option of putting their kids in homeschool because parents have to work. And even if there are a number of all Black administered, funded and led schools, which are wonderful, and I think that all Black parents should strongly consider putting their kids in those schools, there aren't enough for all the Black people in this country to send their children. So I think it's important for Black people with respect to sending their kids to schools, they should make an uproar. It may sound like they're being hypocritical, but if they don't have the option, and this is what they have to work with, I think it's important for them to make sure that as taxpayers, that their money is going to where those districts are, where those kids are going, that they have a say so and that they voice what they have to say about it.